They emphasize on practice. You have to do it the correct way. The correct way is like coming back to yourself, coming back to yourself with all the six sense, all the sense coming back to you. So you don't have any discrimination while you practice. Once you don't have any discrimination, then you can that's the right way to practice. And that just is an example of the right way. The practice is the real practice is have maintaining the doubt. You have to do it correctly by by having doubt. You have to learn the method very carefully. You have to do it correctly, and and you have to understand understand your own self, and that way you can go back to yourself so that you don't have any objective or subjective. The practice, um, only the doubt can bring you to that place, and you bring you to the correct way. It's the doubt. It's like where uh, who is who is who's saying about Buddha? Who's the Buddha? When you ask the questions, you don't have a doubt. You cannot answer the question, and those all kinds of questions you ask yourself, um, that help you to maintain the doubt. The questions to help you have a doubt. It's when you just keep asking a question. You have to have a doubt, thousand day, like one day like thousand day. Only doubt maintain. That's why you have no subjective or no objective. Once you have your uh, trust and your belief in yourself 100%, then you have a fully doubt. And then once you have fully doubt, you have um you alignment fully. So that's all cause and effect. You need to have a strong belief in yourself and you understand the method. That's what and then when you come back to yourself and then you come back to yourself, there's no when you get there, there will be no objective or subjective and everything will be more quiet. But it's just an example of saying every other thing that Buddhahood, your Buddha nature, wisdom, every other word are just a description uh, of the alignment. So you need to have to get awakened. You don't need to know how to explain or understand everything. All you need to do is just get alignment. That will clear everything up. You have to get enlightened. You cannot be explained or learn. Even the Buddha cannot teach you this. This thing is all about yourself. You need to figure it out in order to get enlightenment. You need to keep practicing, keep asking the question, and have a doubt all the time. You need to keep improving yourself, learning from other people, learning from masters to better and improve your own self, and then you will get enlightened eventually. So this is just a reminder for you to keep on practicing and believe in yourself, so that you will get enlightened. So anyone have any questions, or you have uh, anything to share with your practice thought, and then I also experiment this. So can you explain this for me? When my friend asked this, when she practiced, it's very hard to ask a single question. When you ask a question, it's very light, and if you force to answer the question, and then you feel that she the questions always appear. It never always stick with her all the time. The questions always rise up, and she thought that it's very deep. The practice is pretty good. It's always appearance. The question is always appearance. Is this is this uh, is this phenomenal? Is when we have good practice, or is that it's just our ignorance? We feel that we have a lot of practice. The mistake when practicing meditation is all different between people. Everyone have different mistakes. All of these one is about fear, about achievement, because you feel that you have achievement, then it's a mistake because you don't have a true belief in yourself. So that because you don't believe in yourself, then you believe in achieve your your improvement, and then you believe in your feeling, and those are all the mistakes, because those are the discrimination. When you feel that you doing great, have a very good practice, those are you are not. It's not good. It's not a right practice. That's because you have a big ego. You have so that you thought that you have a good achievement, and you have the feeling the practice help you, but it's not a right practice. And one day it will hurt you if you have that feeling, because you have a strong ego. When you believe in your own self, you wouldn't care about all of the achievement. And you keep practice the correct way, keep practicing, then you have to destroy your own ego. And then you wouldn't care how much you achieve, how much you improve. All you do, just practice. Every thought that rising, every every good thing that appear, you wouldn't care. So the only thing you can do now is just maintaining the doubt. Just keep asking, just maintain doubt, regardless any thought that rising inside you, good or bad thing, if it's arise, you don't have to worry because you don't practice enough. Stop learning, stop trying to get better, and think that they are good, and they will never improve, and when they would do it incorrectly, and they could be going to hell because you practice wrong. Because a practice and do it wrong would can possibly go to hell forever. They never escape it. You need to learn. You need to learn from other people. They're improving. Don't think that you are doing well, and then you believe in your feeling, then you keep with it incorrectly. You need to understand it deep in with you. Don't trust any words. You have to believe in your own self, and then you may have a little bit of practice, but most of them are discrimination and ignorance. So be very careful of this. So it's really dangerous. And then you one of the wrong, you do it wrongly, and then you thought that you practice correctly can destroy Buddhism. Buddhism. So you need to be very careful when you practice. You've been teaching us about the uh, the habit and ego and discrimination and ignorance. Thinking if 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 I follow the schedule, follow the routine correctly, it might be wrong too. Sometimes I cannot follow the routine, but sometimes we don't see our own discrimination, our own ignorance. How do we see our own ignorance? So that I can have the practice all the time. If you assume that you have to sit a lot, if you sit if you assume that you have to sit a lot to practice, or if you assume something to do, or you assume that you don't need to sit, then the old assumption are the top the thing that control you. All the assumption is a mistake. If you have if you can apply the practice everywhere, it doesn't matter if you sit or not sitting or staying or right walking. Just do the practice. You shouldn't make any assumption what you should do and should not do. You should assume that you should follow the routine or not follow the routine. So all of these are ignorance. Just from there, just ask the question and have a doubt. Have maintaining the doubt and ask the question and have a strong belief in yourself. You don't let the thought control you. Sometimes you have practice, sometimes you don't have practice, and then it keeps changing. It's not, it's not practice. Practice means and the practice. If you keep the practice all the time, and you wouldn't care about routine, a schedule, whatever. You just practice. Mhm. Oh, once you have achieved that, then you can you get better. You have to keep practicing 24/7. That's when that's when you kind of get the practice correctly. If you have any assumption, then it's all wrong. Any assumption, whatever assumption that you make, is wrong. It's hard to change. It's hard to destroy. You have a strong doubt. Then you have a big alignment. If you have a small doubt, then you have a tiny alignment. If you have a tiny doubt, then you wouldn't get alignment. So you have to improve your doubt to get alignment. You need to focus on 100%. You need to you need to put in your the effort to get alignment. You have to know this is the most important thing for you. The practice. Do you understand? We have here, it's very rare to learn about Buddhism, to learn about practice. So you need to ask so that when you ask, you will find out whether how to practice correctly. Because it's very hard to be a human. It's hard to know about Buddhahood, so you don't want to lose it. If you have a strong belief in yourself and strong practice, you will get enlightened. You need to be you need to be not shy about asking questions. MJ, you can ask a question. Master, dear everyone, can you please make this part? You need to explain strong will and correctly do things. Have a good mind and correct doing. You have this is a saying about you have to do a correct thing and have the correct thought and have to answer. You do things correctly without lying, without having any cheat for people. So in this case, you need to focus on the practice. You don't need to do you don't have to do all everything at the same time. Just focus on one thing, which is the practice. You don't need to be doing every other thing at the same time. All you need to do right now is just practice. If you have one practice and have good practice, let's say if you focus on the practice where you will one day get alignment. That's a correct way to think, correct way to do. Part of the way is that you need to be persistent. You need to keep practicing. We have to be a strong will on the practice, and you will get the enlightenment in the end. Don't get lazy. Don't get bored. Don't get be affected by other things around you. And don't be distracted. Every people always change, and it's not continuous. So that you keep going around six path or escape life and death. In order to do this, you have to have a strong belief in yourself, and you have a strong will to practice the practice to no thought that can interfere with your practice. That's it how you focus and do it correctly. Then you have strong will to practice. It's about time now. Dear everyone, have a good day.